right? Okay, the other one, when we talk about leader in our country, all right, there's a big problem over there. The leader themselves are only exercising their needs, all right? Okay, their needs for more money, their needs to get a pension after they become a wakil rakyat, their needs to get a support number so they become a government, all right? Their needs to have the government sign the contract that benefit them or benefit their group, right? Can you see? If leader behave like this, all right, the leader needs to go for a public behavior class. Who is the priority? But at this level, you are not those person, right? You are not in the shoes of those leaders that we are now having. All right, okay, they have their advisors that look into their field, but I'm talking about in the future. One day you will become a leader. All right, you know, okay, you are not a hypocrite. Your behavior, all right, must be reflected in your action, so that it will benefit. Otherwise, that is not a leader. If you think you want to mimic the lifestyle of a good prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it will be so very difficult. The easier part is the leader marry more than once. That's the easier, but that doesn't change the public, isn't it? Right? Okay, so you see a chance now to start control our behavior, understand the psychological aspect that we bring and that we can influence, so that one day in a short terms, in a long terms, you will be given, offered, or work through promotion, you become a leader. And things in the all right, enforcement aspect, you will be able to improve. Then we will be in a society that lives and respect our uniform leader, or the leader of our politics. All right, but I believe, all right, you are the young ones, right? In the next election, it is good that the young one with a different perspective becomes the leader. Okay, but to be in the politics, you will need to start with a lot of money to name yourself as the wakil rakyat calon to the candidate. About a few thousand will need to be put. And that's why some people are being sponsored. Then again, you have to respect the law. In this country, a sponsored leader, it's not allowed. Okay, in America, anyone who wants to be will be sponsored by money companies. In Malaysia, that is not allowed. So you receive the money in your account, it could be CBT later. It could be criminal breach of trust. All right, okay. Tu ada pula hiccup in this country. So understand that. That will be in the future. All right, in another class that you want to learn how to do it. But the best, my advice is the constitution need to be understood. If you want to be the future leader, see, look, read, understand, all right? Ask question, go to class on how to become a leader in this country. All right, if you know your rights in the constitution, you will be able to discharge your duty as a leader better. Right, so now the next point is leader and constitution. Right, okay, so if the public understand the constitution, you see education have changed. Right, in this country, education have changed, where constitution now become a subject in school. So the future generation, where you then will become a leader in a few years' time, these people will grow up. All right, these people will be free from the school time and they will understand the constitution better. So this is the time that the leader forget about the constitution, yet the public understands it. All right, okay. The education have made preparation for that. So how far are you going to cope with it? Long ago, when I go to school, all right, about 60 years ago, right? Okay, they forgot to instill religion, Islam as a subject, but they have a subject called Tata Susila, right? Okay, later the subject changes. Those people who are not Muslim take Tata Susila. Those people who are Muslim take religion, right? In the religion, the concentration is, all right, Tawhid and all that, kitab, right? They forgot about relationship and Tata Susila. Right? Okay, so you'll see when I grew up, the Chinese has better behavior than the Muslim, right? But later on, when we go to university, the university have made a preparation. So the gap in the society keep coming over and over to meet me in my 60 plus years. All right, the gap will also keep coming and be meeting you, right? But you are the one that is going to be in a gap, right? Jadi, in order to discharge your duty as an enforcement, right, you have to know what was in store, what will be in the future. All right, you will be in this. So all this gap, you can make it minimum gap so that you prepare yourself. Constitution in this country is one of the best. For us to cope with this multiracial or multi-ethnicity or multicultural society. All right, okay, right? Any question here? Tak ada. All right. Okay, these are what we call as diplomacy. All right. Okay, faith-based diplomacy. Now, the next word is faith pula, kepercayaan. All right, faith, belief, apa tu? Religion, apa tu? Right? What is religion? Right? Religion is, all right, there must be a prophet, there must be a deity behind it that gives you the religion. So you follow that, all right? And belief is because you you have your own understanding of right and wrong, and you lived with it. Your culture demands it. Your culture dictates it. The first one tadi, religion apa? It is dictated, all right, dictated by, all right, a prophet, or a Nabi, or a Jesus, or Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There must be a prophet there, all right. In belief, there must be a culture orientated beliefs, all right. Your culture, your adat, your tradition, all right. And faith pula. Faith is, all right, what you created. In your faith, you yourself decided to combine certain things and make it yourself. Faith is the one, right, that Sigmund Freud says is the one that leads you to your behavior. Right, faith, you created it. Faith is so independent, but faith is the one that need to have a diplomacy between belief, faith, and people next to you. All right. Faith can lead to murder. These are crime that accelerate because of faith. Religion tell you not to do it, but your faith believe that you should do it. It's sometimes we understand in our society, all right, okay, because of the influence of your tradition, your faith influence you. Apa tadi saya nak kata, in our society, in a society of the Indian culture, their faith is that when they, the Sikh culture, S-I-L-K, the one that wears the turban, if their turban color is orange, it is a time for them to do, all right, okay, for the more aggressive action. If they are wearing white, they are in calm harmony. If they are wearing green, they are more of natural person. But if they are wearing oranges, it's time to be aggressive in your faith. That's why you see the monk, their apa tu? Their robe, the robe that they are wearing It's always in orange color. All right. This is faith. They are telling the public, but not every public knows this. All right. Okay. Orange color. All the time they are in emergency situation. All right. The monk. All right. All monk are in orange color. I see them in train. Most often they don't travel by car, but they travel by train. All right. Okay, so train is the one that we rarely take. So every time I take a train from Kuala Lumpur to Penang, I will meet one. Some are friendly, some are not. All right, okay, so faith-based diplomacy, they tolerate the others, but they are in the nature of emergency all the time, ready to strike whenever their faith is at stake. All right. Okay, understanding this faith-based society is important. Important. Today you dengar perkataan ni, but actually you have already understood it in your nature. All right. Some people are always at a defensive. All right. That is the nature. We don't have a dress color code, but in some religion and in some belief they do. All right. Okay, dress color code. So as a society in the multi-ethnic, you have to be aware. During Christmas, they wear white and red, and they wear beard. We don't see that too often in Malaysia, although they call themselves as Christians. They don't celebrate Christmas in the public, all right, as in other country, all right. Okay, tapi if you see them red and white in their dress up, are we to laugh at them? To give a search, right? To accept this multi-ethnic, all right? In the Sabah and Sarawak, all right, when they dress up, in their native way, and sometimes they wear sumpit dia, all right, or arrow that they carry, or the sword that they carry, or all the feathers that they have on their head, all right, that one is allowed on stage. But if you see walking like that at the airport, do you stop them? Should they dress like that? All right. Okay. So you have to remember, in some situation, okay, in overseas, when these people dress like that, they are well respected because, all right, they understand there is a reason. All right. Okay. So when we see the people in Sabah and Sarawak like that, are we going to disturb their lifestyle and cut them and put trousers on them? Yeah, all right. Should we? We should not. Nobody have done that. All right. Okay. So you see, sometimes diplomacy. Sometimes their behavior is controlled by their belief, by their religion, but most of the time it's by their faith. All right. Okay. So we have to have diplomacy. How do you discharge diplomacy? Again, the psychological aspect will come into when you discharge your contemporary duty in the society. Your eyes connected need to show decency. Your words that you give need to show decency. Your behavior in your action need to show decency, right? Okay, it's not a hypocrite. It's respecting and a diplomacy behavior. All right, okay. So we have to do that in order. These are the transition time. All right, during the COVID period, it's time for us to correct ourselves, to put it in our mind that when we are facing the public are in dire need of love, in dire need of peace. Because there may be people with no money, there will be people hunger, there will be disorder. All right, so you are the enforcement. You need to come as the leader. You need to have the diplomacy so that public order will be good. Okay, right. Let's look into this situation. Conflict. all right? Relationship between West and the Muslim world, all right? Let's forget about that, but look into the conflict in the public because of this multi-culture. Look at the word clash civilization, all right? Okay, in the ancient time, I'm talking about slide number 6. I want to talk about clash civilization. During the time, everybody have heard about the Aztec, not in our country, but overseas, in Argentina and South America. The Aztec, Machu Picchu, all right? These people are well advanced, but they have been destroyed, all right, by the one who doesn't understand them, by the Spanish who comes over and massive killing, right? Do they go back and flown back, all right, in a spaceship to go back to their where the planet they come from, or they were silently killed? That's why there are no more Aztec civilization, class of civilization. All right. Long ago, the Europeans see other civilization as no good. All right. Their civilization as the best. When they dressed up in so many colors, all right, so many feathers, they become the respective leader. When the Aztec people dressed up in their color with a lot of gold, with a lot of feathers, they are uncivilized. When the Aztec have language and lifestyle and food, the civilization of the Spanish says that that is atrocity. So they were killed, right? They were killed. They were abolished from earth, all right? Clash of civilization. Today, archaeological people, the findings keep saying they disappeared. They disappeared. A whole bunch of 200,000 Aztec disappeared. They even believe that they have taken the spaceship and went back to where they come from. You see, they refuse to accept that these are people on the same earth. Right. Civilization. That has a lot of meanings. Meaning that in that country, they have what? They have religion beliefs, they have culture, they have law, they have behavior, they have food. All right. Okay. Can you see civilization? Are we a civilized country? Yes. We can speak, we can write, we have our own culture, we have a culture that is common, right? We have together build the country and have a civilization, right? If we are not careful, another clash of civilization will take over. Civilization always start with culture. Culture always based on ethnicity. All right. So to avoid bigger civilization, right? Okay, we thought for a long period of time that country like America and in Europe will always be our model citizen, our model country, all right, our model development. But are we really, right? Okay, today there are a lot of riot and disparities in US. There are a lot of problems in Europe. All right, are we going to model our civilization to that or build our own? All right, okay, clash of civilization. So over here, all right, when you are faced with the public, you want not to be the extremist. Jangan become the extremist. Extremism is the one that we want to condone. At the moment, this period of COVID, you want to bring peace by eliminating the crime, the scammers, the cheaters, the one who are bad. You want to push that away. So that leaves, but that one is not done in one day, slowly. But at the same time, you build your perspective of your enforcement. Easier for me to say. All right, easier for me to say. That's why I'm saying it now. So in the 3 years coming ahead, you have some idea how to improve your enforcement. So the enforcement will be strong to lead to the peace. That's the objective. All right. Okay. Next one. Let's look into this. These are the number. You see, this is my previous research. That's the number, okay? But then today, when you do your search, it will be the multi-ethnic city. What is missing from here? It's the Sabah and Sarawak. I'm complaining about my own. I've done incomplete yet. So next time, I'll be more prepared to include the number of all those native, we call them, in our everyday tongue. But the right word is Bumi Putra. They are the Bumi Putra. All right, they are the Bumi Putra. And this combination Sabah, Sarawak, and the Bumi Putra in Semenanjung, our numbers are bigger. So we stand together as a Bumi Putra. All right, we don't, but we respect their culture and their ethnic group. Right? Then if you undi, you are the Bumi Putra. Right? If you go for a license, the Bumi Putra will be ahead of all those people. I'm not telling you to hate these people, but they are the present. So because we overlook the fact, we always count the Malays, we forget that we are Bumi Putra, a bigger number. You're strong, but stand by that one. Yeah. All right. Okay. Now let's look into this one. This is the riot in this country. Riot quietly. Now lepas Kampung Medan 2001, what will be there? All right. Okay. Can you see this is being registered? Very small, yet at the same time we admire the peace. But slowly in 57, 64, 67, 69, 87, 99, 2001, and then a riot in Kuala Lumpur, and then riot in Sabah Lahad Datuk. Right? Okay, can you see? My research ended in 2001, right? But there are 3 more after 2001, isn't it? Right? A riot that is because of supporters of Anwar Ibrahim. You see supporters, leaders being supported, right? Riot because a small riot in the Mahkamah, supporters of Jamal Abdillah, right? Riot in the Lahad Datuk, all right? The insurgency, ketidakamanan di Pulau Sipadan, Ligitan, all right? Okay, those are not included. So these are all pushed by ethnic, multicultural situation. In country like Somalia, Somalia have only one race, Somalian people. In Somalia, there is one religion, that is Islam. All right, but in Somalia, all right, if you are not a local and not a Muslim, right, if a local try to change religion, they will definitely be killed by the neighbor who is a Muslim, right? Okay. Now, my point is sometimes in one country that doesn't have multicultural, that doesn't have ethnicity, crime still does happen. All right. Okay. You don't have the freedom. Freedom is limited. In country like us, multicultural, but then it's not being given perspective as it should be. Okay. So pay attention. Right. Keep adding my list. Let it grow. Maybe you are in your department, you know the distress that have happened. You know when people are, you know better than I do. These are all registered, but then these are not all dates that is all right registered. Okay, ada 2-3 lagi. The newspaper will assist you. I haven't completed my research on the major event of ethnic strife. When I say major, what is the major? Major here is because they use gun. Right? Perasan tak daripada all this, mana dia Mamali incident? Anybody heard of the Mamali incident? Right? It's because of hunger. Because lapar, they demanded that food be given to them. You see, just lapar. Lapar is not a psychological aspect. You riot, you request. And today we are very blessed with people. Very quickly, we extend food. That is one way, all right, to gain support, to gain public order. We do it together, not alone, all right? But then again, okay, why is Mamali incident not being registered as the ethnic event in the country? Political aspect, right? Okay, so how do you, in 1969, we have a multicultural agreement, all right, in order to start the new economic policy. Today, the new economic, dasar ekonomi baru that try to bring stability between the multicultural have already ended a few years before Prime Minister Najib coming into the office. All right, have already ended. It's time now to have another agreement. Maybe Mahyudin is bringing in all this policy, but mind you, it's a policy. If that government is not anymore in the throne, the policy will be killed. So it has to be an agreement.